I don't know how much of that I could play, but that is the Mitch Murder Knight Rider theme, and it is awesome. And it's even better on the Triangle Antal 40th Anniversary Towers. A $5,000 set, so 5 gemstones in the title. Zeos put the gemstones in. And frankly, the prettiest speakers I saw at this current last year's Capital Audio Fest. And that's weird, because it's just a box. There's nothing special about the shape. It's a rectangle. It's a tall rectangle. It's got stands, which, by the way, are glass. It's a 40th anniversary. But it's all about that finish. It's all about the shine. It's all about the contrast of the shiny driver and the white and the bass and the front port. These have been in my house since November. And this is like the 4th time I'm doing the review. When I first switched to the DJI Pocket, I was a dumbass. Settings were all wrong. Also, it was pointed up here. So I was talking about the speaker like this, and everyone was like, I can't use that. So now I know exactly where to point the thing. Hopefully, the lighting is better, the camera settings are better, and I've put them here so many times I could do this in my sleep. In my sleep! You see, these speakers, being smooth and warm and French as fuck, need some very special treatment. And then I get to use this background finally again, and you'll understand. So that, guest starring on this speaker video, is the Burson Soloist Voyager, which is a $3,600 Class A headphone amp / preamp. And on my previous recordings of this set of speakers, I was using that, the Class A preamp S17 from Aoun. And here's the thing. I'm powering it with the Orchard Audio Star Crimson Ultra. I have one of his 500-watt Ultras down there. And every other speaker in this house, topping DX9 is perfectly fine, clean and linear, just enough of a little bit of a warmth to sort of keep it from getting boring and bland. So $1,300 DAC into a $4,000 amp, and it's perfect. Not these. Not these. If you put these with the most sterile and linear amplification with just a touch of flavor, that's not enough. These speakers, to really fucking get them, you got to warm up the signal. I wish that these Taxoditas Devices tube amps, were a little bit more powerful. They're only 8 watts a channel, and I think they would do an injustice to these, although you can buy wire them. So I would have been able to put this on 8 watts and this on the 500 watt. But I wish they were also like a tube pre. I really need a solid standalone tube pre, because that would have just finalized this. Because these speakers are the embodiment of French. Just like I talked about. It's actually weird because I just had to bring out the Cabas Menorca MC40s, which were the box speakers that they were sent by mistake, and they were French, and they were like, please don't review these. And I'm like, fuck you. I heard these before those. And I gave those the full French stamp of approval of I want to drink wine and eat bread and cheese and make sweet, sweet love. And these are the $5,000 tower variant of that. I've done other triangles. These triangles here are, were and kind of are one of my favorite towers, because they do everything I expect from a tower. They can get louder than a normal just bookshelf speaker. They can get lower than a normal bookshelf speaker. They were completely balanced. They looked fucking stellar. And they were $1,500 for the pair. This at $5,000 for the pair had better beat it, because they're like an identical clone. You got port, driver, thing and thing. So now you got one less driver. That looks remarkably similar. And that tweeter's a little different. And that tweeter is where the money shot comes in. Because once you start playing around with different... it's kind of like if the speakers were made out of oboes. Don't know what an oboe is? Look it up. It's a very... How do I describe an oboe? I don't know. It feels like a wooden instrument. It doesn't feel like a big, scary box that's been through a bunch of trial and error, and it's got to analyze it so that the box resonant. This feels like it was just filled, like it might be a hole somewhere in here, opened, just filled with cream. French vanilla. Just filled with it. Because the sounds that come out of it, even though you know these songs, even though I know all the songs in this playlist, and this is putting on the Ritz from Taco, apparently, which maybe I don't know all the songs on my list. Hold on. Putting on the Ritz. So you feed it a slightly warmer signal. So, if you do that with your amplifier, again, this is the most clean amplifier on the planet Earth, is the Star Crimson Ultra. I have a relatively clean DAC. If you have a slightly warmer DAC or even a DAC, toppings and SMSLs now have like sound color options. We can just flip it on to be like valve sound or tube sound. Even something like that would be a benefit. Because you give these a little bit more to what they are. Like, you have to double down. These are the double down of speakers. Don't look up that reference. We don't want to sell any more of his DVDs. But these... Oh, this is definitely not... I didn't think Devil Raiser would need to come up. But let's all right, we're going to raise the volume a little bit. We'll take it to 66 for Devil Raiser. I'm going to skip forward a little bit so we get right into it. And then... Wait, we gotta get into it. Even Devil Raiser, the Unholy, sounds warm and loving. I want to lay on a bearskin rug and make sweet, sweet love to someone, or in the case of Devil Raiser, the Unholy, something. And it'll just be the most beautiful fucking love story you've ever heard. These are not speakers for people who like neutrality. I'm just put it that way. These speakers, the Mons, the big Platimons I'm buying, those are speakers for people who love neutrality and don't want to have any coloration in their sound. These triangles represent coloration in a way that you have got to have the money to afford it. $5,000 is not nothing. And if you're going to just buy them blindly, you had better know for a fucking fact what you like in audio is a little bit of just warmth. A nice smooth coating over all that harsh, nasty stuff that comes off the AM radio or wherever the fuck you get your music these days. It's got to be loving. It's got to be sit on the couch, get a little drunk on wine, and just go, fuck it, and listen. Unfortunately, you also have to do that while paying thousands of dollars. I would say several hundreds of dollars, but my brain is still... I'm always that poor broke Zeos that started this channel 11 years ago. And not the well, of course, everyone's going to have the $4,000 plus the $1,000 plus the $3,000. No one's going to have this shit. But if you have this shit, or even just basic shit, these shits, spend a little more.
Eyes come in disguise.
Wow.
Your cum won't last. There's a snake in my ass.
Even the Welcome to the Cum Zone 2 or whatever the fuck that is from Oblivion Fall. Please don't look that up. It's not my responsibility. It just happens to be in FLAC on my playlist, all right? I didn't ask for it. Maybe I did. But
Father's secret stash.
I can't play too much of that. That's just a demonetization city. But even that has like a richness and a sweetness to it that wouldn't normally be there. I'm just shuffling I'm doing my whole playlist. I think I'm doing my whole playlist. So sky's the limit.
Oh, never look back, never stare at a ghost. BKM at the summertime show.
Fucking Run the Jewels, this is Run the Jewels. Nunca mirar hacia atrás. Bomb Estero version. Esterios version. I have no idea. I've got like a Spanish Run the Jewels exports. Great. It's a vibe. These speakers are a vibe on top of a vibe. Right? You buy a speaker, and like if you get this JBL, and I tell you, look, it's very clean. The way it produces the sound out of the tweeter gives it a nice broad spectrum. The bass reaches down real low, and it does this kind of like detail retrieval. And none of that I give a shit about for this speaker. You are buying this speaker, which has grills, by the way, but you'll note still in their plastic, because you'd be a fucking bad person if you put them on these. No one wants just black. No, stop. No. 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 Stop. No.
Another pack go.
I wish I was rich enough that I could afford these speakers and just have them be the only thing in my den. And then when people come to visit, they sit down and I have a lovely, like, old 1890s tea set on an old tea table that was imported from Italy. And I've got the draperies and the beautiful curtains hanging down in my great room. I actually do have a great room. Fuck. Whatever. Just pretend that it's just like, oh, I'm the fanciest. I'm like Michael Jackson if he lived to be 100, how fancy his house would be. And then you sit down in front of these beautiful, absolutely stunning French speakers, and all of a sudden, Beastie Boys comes on. I can't play more than that, but that's Shake Your Rump from the Beastie Boys. And that's just, everything you play through this is filtered. Filtered. Like Neurosama says, filtered. Filtered to be the smoothest revision of what it is. And I don't think you could just take all this music that I have lovingly organized in just a fucking chaotic mess and then go into an EQ and like, well, what we got to do is we got to raise the mid-range and we got to drop the treble down just a little bit because it has so much treble retrieval from that. So yeah, really loud. And then the bass kind of have a lump. You can't make your music sound like this through fuckery. This only happens through whatever the hell Triangle does with their crossovers, their builds, their driver decisions, their front port. Like, there's so many things that I don't think you could just fake it until you just make it. Interspecies Reviewers theme. Let's do the other one. Hold on. Bass nectar. And having only two 6.5s, you'd think that it would have less low end than the cheaper unit that has three 6.5s. But it doesn't. It has better low end, tighter. Like, it's just, I don't want to like talk like these speakers are just some loosey goose, like, oh, whatever the fuck, man. Why'd you just pay $5,000 for me? These are still a precision sound instrument. They give you ideal levels. Let's just put it that way. There's rules and then there's ideals. And you have to follow the rules so you don't go to prison, but you have to follow your own ideals. And these feel like they follow the rules just enough, but man, do they have their own ideals on how to deliver those rules, on how to deliver bass, on how to deliver clarity, on vocals, on imaging. What the fuck is that? Various Artists, the reconstruction of fives, and by by Ben Lucas. What is this from? I don't even know what the reconstructions of fives is. Although I read a whole thing about Eris and how that has to do with fives, and she's apparently a fucking cunt. And I can't wait for her to come out so she can make everyone fight, because she's the goddess of discourse. Anyway, if you're not listening to this on headphones or something capable, whatever is happening, I'm going to raise this volume absurdly high. Because Burson, there's just a low end that just appeared and filled the room like a swimming pool. It's not even loud. It's just in the background. This is like, and that's what you should expect from a $5,000 pair of speakers. Everything should be impressive on them. Skipping forward. Oh, I know this song. Oh, I love this song. I didn't recognize the name. What is this song from? Can someone tell me what the reconstruction of fives is from? Because it does this. I've listened to this straight through so many times. Oh, you see the drivers moving with that bass hit? Hold on. I'm gonna scream. These are the tightest oboe you've ever had in your mouth. Wait, do you blow into an oboe? Now I don't even know what an oboe is. God, you know what I'm missing? Echo. Turn on the fireplace. Echo, turn on Narberth fireplace. There we go. Okay, now we've set the stage and the scene much better. I wonder what other fireplace... Oh, there's fireplace lights, which it turns on. I just turned on the fireplace lights upstairs. Never mind. Jump. I just want to make sex. Like, Andrew WK is smooth. Smooth. You're paying $5,000. You had better get the prettiest speaker. And, again, not the craziest design. But just look. Just. Can I lean on this? Just look. Look at it. Tell me there's a prettier speaker. Go. Right now. Prettier. Not crazier looking. Not more just prettier. These were them. These were they. The Golden Oaks. And you know what? These are the ones I took from the show, so not even any break-in. I left them upstairs for my New Year's Eve party because I just wanted people to see them. I didn't even play them. I just needed people to see them. And they were like, oh my God. Oh my God. Please excuse this, by the way. This has become special. Zeos, if you can, link to these SKW XLRs. They're very thick and kind of hard to twist. But I think Hi-Fi Go sent them to me, so I finally got a chance to use them in their entirety. Anyway.
It was a mistake.
I definitely am not. Am I on just the singles? There's no way that two of these would come up. Come up. Ha 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 ha. Ah, I must be limited to a folder. I was jumping around. But then why would Andrew WK be in there? Because I have a whole Andrew WK... Oh, no, I have 3 Andrew WK songs. And this is drums and bells. Comparing Sticks as the album. It's real hard to find. I had a friend who managed to get me a copy of it because I needed to buy a copy of this. Because it's just... And I'm pretty sure it matches copyright, so I can't play a lot. But it's just basically binaural drums and bells. It's like the Birdman soundtrack, but on crack. There's just... And the fucking tweet... If this had a standard tweeter, these would not be as impressive. They would have all this warmth and low end, and I'd be like, ooh, French. But then they got that tweeter. And you're like, well, Zeos, yeah, but is it worth like adding like $3,000 to the... Yes. Because that tweeter takes us out of the realm of like it's just a colored speaker and you could do it with something else. To, oh... $5,000 French son of a bitch. Really fucking articulate. Like, really gets up there. Really, like... That right there. Not the fucking kick drum. Like, the fucking rim on the drum. It's... I have them up on rolling carts, by the way. For better positioning, and I had them rolled out, and rolled in, and rolled out. I keep rolling these out. Doing other things and rolling them back in because I never want them to leave. I want them to stay forever. If they said straight up, just sell those, pay me the price of those, and keep the heartbeat. Look how pretty they fucking are. I wish I had a permanent space to put them. I mean, my guest bedroom is probably like half the size of this space. Just like squeeze them in the side of the guest bedroom and be like, never touch these. These are not for guests. They're just for me. So yeah, I think that... I've done quite a number of triangle speakers, and these are probably the most... These are the most triangle speakers. Of all the triangle speakers I've listened to, including those big ones I had with the weird... These are them. These are they. These should be their flagships, and this isn't even fucking close to how expensive they get. The really expensive ones have the tweeter on the back that shoots into the wall, that does reflection and coatings, and it's, oh my God. I feel like maybe this might be their best speaker, though, because all those speakers that got higher and higher end, yeah, they're going to do more impressive technical stuff. But I feel like it's if you build a car. When Carroll Shelby built the Cobra, that was the most flavor his car could probably have. Or maybe the Daytona. If you go higher and higher and higher and try to like beat the land speed record or win everything, you're going to start to like, all right, I can't have all this flavor of mine. I've got to sort of straighten it out, follow the science. These don't have to follow. These are the perfect price where it's like, no, this is just everything I want to put into a speaker and nothing I don't. And if you want it to be a more technically accurate speaker and you're going up to the $15,000, $20,000 range, it's going to lose some of that. The cheaper ones, they have to keep moderately normal so that they can compete. And the really expensive ones, they have to make them moderately normal so they can compete. But they don't have to do that shit with these. They just fucking let it loose. That was Birdie Nom Nom, and this is Last of Us OST, which apparently is just a siren. They're making Pearl Jam sound well recorded, and that might be wrong to say, but Pearl Jam is not really well recorded. I never listened to Pearl Jam and go, oh man, the recording quality now is fantastic. Epic score. We could let this run. You got your brass plate. Just listen to them. All right, I'm done with this review. Patreon, subscribe, sir. Support this channel. If you want to see reviews early, participate in yard sales, hear lossless sound demos, including sound demos of this, or go to my monthly questionnaire where I will answer your $5 a month questions in a private video, please check out my Patreon and subscribe star. If you want to talk to me directly all the time, feel free. Hold on, I'm going to change to a different track, but the same thing. Something without the word fist in it, please. Floating evidence. Perfect. $10 a month gets you in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat where you can ask me questions directly. You also get access to the Lifetime Swap Meet channel where you can buy, sell, and trade gear forever, as long as, I guess, it exists, with over 400 members in it. So stop. Anyway, links to these. I'm going to link to, unfortunately, the only problem with Triangle is they're retailer based. They are, you have to find the people selling it. I think Adorama has a couple, but not all of them. And usually you have to go and you got to deal with your dealer. You got to go find a dealer. But you know what? A dealer will have a showroom and you'll be able to say, like, you know what? Zeos told me about these. I want to hear them, and make sure they play them for you and make sure it's on a warm source, and then just enjoy it. Because you should enjoy it.
Extra Charlie, take 3.
What is this? This is The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Not my music, but
It's made me kind of look at the world as it's just not as epic as I thought it was.
fuck. Oh, God. Some Worries from the Community soundtrack. It just sounds epic on this. Epic French music.
It's cool and breeze blows a little too cool.
Where the hell's